One lady's saying, can we tap the glow of the soul shining through the physical and subtle bodies? Yes, the glow. I like how you use the word glow. When I read that word glow, it reinterprets in this brain as pure potential. Your exquisite, lovely, original intention for existence, ancient, pure potential goes all the way back to the Big Bang. The Big Bang was the first expression of pure potential for the whole universe. And because the work that we're doing right now is at both an individual and a collective level. So we've got the collective out here, all of our world out here that's being healed. There's a healing that's taking place, right? So many people are at home and they're like getting into like really healthy routines, right? If you stay home all the time, you start like working some regular exercise into your routine and taking care to eat healthy foods because you're not like just going to restaurants or fast food, right? I mean, there's so many different nice things about staying and getting more rest, maintaining more ease in relationship with self. Some heart flow is happening, some nice heart flow, some nice heart flow. This establishment of more balanced and consistent routine is something the body loves and supports at a material level. The work that we are doing at this subtle level, thanks to all those individuals in the world who are establishing their healthy routines, our healing work is able to reach further and more profoundly. And yes, we're tapping into the glow, that pure potential, that original blueprint that was there before the thickness of the imbalances came in. Everybody just getting that really nice, clear. And of course, we've talked about our pure potential before. So for a lot of you, this is nothing new, but the beauty of our ongoing webinars is that we keep addressing these essential elements or issues from varieties of different angles. And each time our group is different, and each time we are different. So looking at how the pure potential expresses itself in the cell as the energy produced by the mitochondria. Seeing, oxygen is a really important factor in that process. Oxygen is one of the fundamentals which the body uses to create energy. And not only do our cells replicate and reproduce, but our mitochondria replicates and reproduces. And when the body is healthier, the mitochondria actually reproduce. They not only like as cells, they like rejuvenate, but they multiply. They multiply. When you have more mitochondria in your body, you have more batteries. You have more batteries. So what do we do to feed the mitochondria so that they reproduce? And what I'm seeing happening there is setting up a sacred space. Again, we come back to our sacred space. This was a big download, you guys, about the sacred space, that like exactly how do we tweak that sacred space, that sacred healing space, and then be in it all the time. That when the sacred space that we as the overseeing deity of the physiology sets up for the cells at a cellular level, at the level of cellular and subcellular intelligence, mitochondrial intelligence, that lets the mitochondria feel free to reproduce vigorously. We want them to reproduce. We want them to make baby mitochondria. So what is that energy? What is that reproduction energy? That reproduction energy can be with the cells. We can experience it with the cells at a cellular level of our physiology. We all know what that feeling feels like. That's a healthy feeling. It's also intimately connected. It has been very heavily blocked by this cultural conditioning that you should not feel good about your body, and you should especially not feel, it's especially appropriate to feel embarrassed and ashamed of any kind of reproductive type of feelings. But it's not, this is a matter of holding Dharma stable. That means living life in a dignified and modest and appropriate manner, but also having the freedom to allow that energy that we associate with reproduction to live freely in all our cells. Because this is a key. I didn't know this, okay, you guys, I didn't know this before we started this webinar. It's only at this point in the webinar that it is becoming evident to me that this particular energy is extremely beautiful, is extremely nourishing to the mitochondria in the cells of our bodies. The mitochondria would like to be in love all the time. And why not? Why not should they be in love all the time? If we are able to be in love with ourselves, then we can allow that energy to flow freely in the whole physiology in every cell of the body and support the capacity of the mitochondria to reproduce, so that we have an abundance of mitochondria in our body, and each one is a little battery. Each one is a little energy producer. That's a good time for a moment of silence. And just let everybody get that as a download and feel that. Just feel at a physical material, so we're feeling our bodies down to the cellular level. So awareness, our developed senses of perception, feeling down to the cellular level and feeling that lovely hum, that hum of being in love, all the way down to the subcellular level of the physiology. What I'm experiencing right now is a huge, massive wave of gratitude, returning from every cell in the body back to the being that ego, that sense of self, returning back to sense of self. And because ego is a spectrum, that means that gratitude also nourishes and feeds the entire collective level of reality. So that means it's going through us, that gratitude that's coming from every cell in our body, every mitochondria in every cell, and every cell has several mitochondria. I don't even know how many, like what's the average number or anything, but I'm sure it varies from person to person. So all of them, and what is it, like trillions of cells? I think trillions of cells in the physiology, to the entire vast level of self of the whole creation and the whole spectrum. Because the whole spectrum is divinity expressed. That's divine being talking to itself across the whole spectrum of ego. Oh, we've got holding Dharma stable, is living life in a dignified, modest manner, yeah. Oh, beautiful. And here's another comment. Mitochondria take our cues from us. That's right. That's right. Like we're creating the space in which they live. If we're happy, they're like, hey, it's a happy day. And if we're sad, they're like, oh, it's a sad day, right? Because because all of our feelings are coming through the neurochemical communication that takes place in the body. Um, oh, it was on the tip of my tongue just a second ago. Neuropeptides. Neuropeptides are chemical messengers that tell every cell in the body what you're feeling. If we tell them that aging is wonderful and powerful and enlivening, they will reflect that right back to us. Yes, trillions. Yes, yes, exactly. And that, that aging, and when aging with a capital A, she's got aging up there with a capital A, which means I take that to mean as we go through day after day, week after week, year after year, that the process of change which occurs in the body can be ever more deeply oriented toward divine embodiment. That every change is a change of evolutionary value. That every change takes us closer to wholeness, closer to complete expression of our divine origin. It doesn't have to mean breaking down and becoming worse. It can mean getting better.